tuning in now or after the midday market report or the live, I greatly appreciate you at least stopping in. Please make sure to hit that like button as it will greatly help push this midday market report, which gets about 400 to 500 views per video. Some have got us about 1,000, but on average it's about 400. I'd say about 450. So I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch the midday market report. I believe it adds value and it allows us to see exactly why we're trending in the directions we are. So let me timestamp this real quickly. Good early afternoon, 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Nah, you know, when you throw darts, Lane, when you throw a bunch of darts, eventually you're due to hit one of them. The Dow Jones is up 130 about 130 points to 33,068. Crypto J, welcome in. Yes, please make sure to hit that like button. But Lane, you got anything of value to add? I'm doing an analysis, so you know, if you want to add value, I'm more than willing to listen. But if you're just gonna come in here and tell me somebody else said something, you know, that doesn't really add any value to what I'm trying to do. That's just, it is what it is. Martin, welcome in. Good evening from England. Well, good evening to you, sir. JW, how are you doing? D Rojas, welcome. TK, good afternoon. JW, I hope you're having a blessed day, my friend. Lane, it's YouTube comments. I don't have to add value. Left my ass up. Hey, fair enough. I'm just saying for your own sake. Do you want to live off of what everybody else says, or do you want to have an opinion for yourself? That's all I mean. But if that's good enough for you, I bless you, my friend. Axis, good evening. Marvin, welcome in. Bradley wouldn't even consider buying at the moment. No, I mean, if you were going to buy, you don't buy the pump. So we're already well positioned for these moves. It's just, you have to find your spots if you haven't bought in. That's the thing. Axis, love it. I appreciate that, Axis, greatly. So with the DXY right now, we're bouncing off the 105 spot 709. You're a good guy. I can tell good things will happen to you. Hey, Lane, I appreciate it. And I didn't say I don't like blockchain backer. I've said many times I like them. I just wanted to hear your own opinion. That's all. I like when I hear the audience and they tell me what they're thinking of the market instead of, I get it a lot where they'll tell me, you know, somebody on YouTube or, you know, I just like to hear where everybody stands, not somebody else's opinion. Not that I don't think it's valid. So that's, appreciate it, Lane. Fifth Dimension Seeker, XRP baby, let's fucking, yes, indeed. Crypto Greek, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in. So with the DXY, we did bounce off the 105 spot 50. It's an important level. It's an important level. The 200-day ran right through here, as we can see. So, I mean, and it's not just on a small time frame. It's on the 4-hour time frame. So this is where you would stop yourself from trending down and reversing this entire formation. So we've stopped us right now in our tracks from even having the death cross here in the 4-hourly, which is a more critical time frame. So now we're going to try to rally back up like we talked about yesterday. We could possibly come all the way back up and retest that 107 spot 23 area. These 4-hour candles back to back look pretty good. So we're going to have to take that into account when it comes to crypto. Could we be in a consolidatory phase? So we'll get into crypto in a minute. Then we'll also take a look at the notes here from the market when I get to the end of this. Please make sure to hit that like button if you're tuning in. 41 people here already. I'm not used to that so quickly in the midday market report. We usually get up to about 40 or 50, but to start off that hot, thank you all so much. 20 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button. It will help push this through the algorithm just a little bit better. Especially if you share it too, that would definitely help push it. 10 years and a little more pressure as it's consolidating at 4.84%, down about 0.25% or 0.01 basis points. We didn't quite come up to our target yet, but we'd be splitting hairs. We called 5.077 before a correction. It came up to 5.01. Like I always say, you can't always hit it on the dead target, but if it comes close enough, don't hold yourself to the fact that it has to hit a certain level. If it comes close, that is what it is. So now we're going to have to see. We had a long leg doji yesterday in the daily, which was easily identifiable. And now we talk, oh, I love when they bring the street sweeper by. Oh, this ain't the street sweeper. What is this? Oh, that must be the wood chip right. No, I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe it's for road work. Thought they were gonna clean the side of the streets. I love when they do that. I like watching it. So this long leg doji here, and that just means that we're running out of steam. So you have an equal shadow on both sides, and it squeezes to the middle. It basically ends where it started, a little bit downward volatility, upward volatility, but it basically ends in the middle. But the direction right now, it showed we're running out of steam. This was an upward trajectory. We have the long leg doji, which signifies that we're out of steam. Next candle is very important, and we broke the low. So now if we close today's daily below 4.83, that's a very bearish trend. And we would start sweeping our way down to about 4.71. And then remember, if we lose the 4.71, this is where we're firmly looking, is at 4.605 to see how much steam we exactly have left in this formation. But I tend to believe, ladies and gentlemen, we have higher targets because the fact that it's going down signifies there's interest in these government bonds. And yes, it's going to have to correct. So I think we're looking at a correction down at about 4.56 if I had to guess. Could get stopped at the 4.7 region. But they're trying to entice everybody to buy these. And I'm sorry, but I'm not buying the 10-year. I wouldn't even buy it at 5%. But they're trying to entice people in other countries, people in our own borders, and this isn't going to get the job done, especially if it's coming down. You're not going to buy the 10-year on a downward spiral, but that's correlating with the DXY pushing up. I think we looked at the Dow very quickly, but the Dow is still in its correction phase. It could come down to 32,580. But like we've talked about, it could try to pull a W reversal as well. We had a V-shaped recovery that failed at 33,900. That's the pivot point right now. And that's not good. We put what we needed to do to start breaking out of this pivot point, but we failed to even do it. We broke to the bottom side. So now we might have to come back, more than likely, we'll have to come back down here to 32,580. Unless they start buying up the market. That is not out of the realm of possibility. The U.S. government controls this fate. They simply print money into existence by expanding the money supply, and despite what the popular belief is, our rising prices on goods, rent, home insurance, everything, your rising price in goods, services across the board is not because of inflation. Oh, no, no, no. The inflation is the expansion of the money supply, and that is printing money. You want to contract the money supply, take it out of circulation. Take it, burn it, blow it up, send it to the firmament, because Lord knows we've never been out of the firmament. So send it wherever you want. Have it rain on us, blow it. I don't care. Dig it in the ground, throw it in the water, but not in the oceans. Just get rid of it. That's how you contract the money supply. That's how prices come down. But as long as we're expanding the money supply, prices go up. That's a direct result of expanding the money supply. Not inflation. Inflation's a direct result of the money supply expanding. The expansion of the money supply causes the rising in prices, not the actual inflation. That's a misconception. But it's spread like wildfire because that's all they talk about on media. That's all anybody really talks about, unless you listen to Gregory Mannarino or Peter Schiff or Mike Maloney or Robert Kiyosaki, or the ones who understand it. The rest of them just, they practice what they hear. And they probably practice what they preach too, and that's why in the end it's not going to end so well. We'll be fine. Our time comes in 2028. Where am I going to go? I'll be 40 in December. I'll be 44 when our time is here. I'm still be a relatively young man still. So I got nowhere to go. So now we're looking to trend. So that's the point here with the Dow. It's looking bad. We have the dot cross. We confirmed it. Now we're breaking down. That means we should have one more volatile move down. Unless, like I said, they start printing money into existence like they do, and then they start pouring it into these sectors. But we're in a broadening wedge, which means if we break down, that move will come down to about 31K. Liquidate some portfolios, and then probably just run right back up to 36.7. If I was a bet, man. The gold-silver ratios bounce back just a little bit at 86-1. They're heavy pressure today in the metals markets, but it's an illusion. The gold-silver ratio right now is about to explode. I think it's about to explode. unless it does get rejected at 87.46, which I have a hard time believing. I think it's coming up to make a run back at 91. That's huge. That's huge. That's a huge separation in the ratio. Now, you could certainly say that that is exactly how it's going to do this, but I don't know. I don't know if I really want to say it's in this little channel, which you very well could. You very well could say that that is the exact channel it formed here all of a sudden. And that's what I've been speculating with myself, that it's in this kind of a channel. So if it is, that would allow it room to come up here, and you would need a break above about 88. So I'm going to get rid of this, I think. And we're going to use the channel because I've been speculating myself, and I'm just going to pull it across finally. It seems to be the right thing to do. So then we'll see if we can break that and have that technical breakout. That should bring us to 91.91. So, and that'll satisfy this little cup and handle as well. That's where I think we're going with the gold-silver ratio. So how the hell do we get there? That means either gold is coming up a little bit faster. No, FOMO 60, life just, hey, 60's young. I don't believe you started to hit the older side of town until you hit 70. That's just, I've always believed that. I believe that more than ever today, especially if we take care of ourselves. So I'm doing today for tomorrow. I barely drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I work out. You know, I eat different than most people. I fast 16 hours a day. Some would say religiously, but I've been doing it for like, I don't know, 7-8 months probably now. It's been crazy. I can't even remember a time now before it. I don't know how I would do it any different. So that's what I think. How diversified is your portfolio these days, Tom? Jordan, that's an excellent question. So in crypto, I've gone, you know, my crypto holdings. Well, I go from crypto, I have a portion. But I also have precious metals that I've been buying since 2017. Any profits I have from crypto, if I'm going to sell, which I don't sell in 2023 now just because of the capital gains tax and the tax and the cycle we're in, I believe it's an accumulation phase in crypto. So I've put in about, we speculated, it's got to be about 55 to 6,000 possibly in crypto, but it's ballooned up to like 11,600 right now. Is what my, no, it's like 11,400 with the pullback now. So it's been a good year with that. Even in a bear market, I'm up over 5 grand overall in my portfolio and crypto. But then my metals though, that's where the big part is. That's where I conserve my wealth. That's my store of value. Crypto is going to get me there, but the precious metals are going to pull me over and store my wealth while the US dollar goes to tank in 24. I've been building for this for 7 years. So it's weighted in probably, if I had to be honest, 65% in precious metals, my holdings wise. About 15% is going to be in B2 gold, and that's purely for the dividend when it hits the price I need it to. It's at $3.28. I talk about it every day. I sold out after the last dividend payment, and it's about right where I sold out now. So if I bought it back, I'm not losing anything, but I want to make sure we're in the right cycle here because I still think the DXY can come parabolically up at 89. I mean, up to 109, so we'll see. So, and then I've got about, I don't have anything in the stock market. The only thing in the stock market would be my commodity in B2 gold if I buy it. The rest is in actual physical metals as a store of value. And then crypto as a speculative asset, because I'm not going to speculate on any kind of medical stocks or technology or AI. I'd rather just speculate in, actually AI I would speculate in, but more on the smart home front, which would be the Internet of Things. So I absolutely speculate in it. But, so that's basically the way it's broken down. But I put a fair amount of my wealth that I have already acquired. It goes into precious metals because it's the greatest store of value we know. Appreciate your TA, Tom. It's fun and educational the way you do it. Just love all the anti-FUD attitude, so refreshing. Hey, I appreciate that. I got to read through more comments. It's just they were coming in hot and heavy. I'll be honest, everybody. I am not used to 71 people being here in the midday market report. Please make sure to hit that like button as we have 39 likes, doing great. But if we can get a few more likes and start evening out that ratio, we'll get more people even to see this midday market report. We usually get about 50 people by the time it's all said and done. 400, 450 views. Some have gotten 1,000, but The midday market report, I believe, is growing in value, and I think more people will understand that it's very important to do more than just crypto. You have to, and I'm not saying diversify in your currency, because currency is not money. Who said, oh, I want to read some of these metals comments. I'll read them as some more comments come in. Beautiful. So let's continue on. So that's the gold silver ratio. So we need to figure out, I hope that answered your question about my diversity. Now, if you're asking about my diversity in crypto, I've got 12,222 tokens in XRP, XLM, XDC. It's not debatable. 72,222 with DGB. 10,000, just over 10,000 HBAR, just over 10,000 Casper and Flare, just over 4,000 Corium and Solo. What am I missing? I know I'm missing something. Oh, 7,800 Algo. Did I get everything? I think I got everything. So I'm pretty diversified in crypto, but like I've said, in crypto, it's all about the Internet of Things, the ISO approved tokens that can already fit in with the ISO adoption, whether it's in 23 or 28. I'm not interested in ones that can't handle it. Gold, like I've been talking about, you know, is a great way to invest, but just you got to watch out where you're buying, and you got to watch out your plays. Gold trying to invalidate. Oh yeah, ZIL. Thank you. ZIL and VeChain. Thank you so much. ZIL and VeChain, I've got 22,222 tokens. I knew I was missing something. Thank you both for saying that. VeChain and ZIL, 22,222 tokens each. VeChain, because it's in the Internet of Things with IOTA and with Theta and Filecoin. And then you've got ZIL, which has it's light years ahead of any other meme. Light years. And ZIL, some of you know now because I've shared it, is made to be 10,000 times faster than Ethereum. Look it up. I showed the blue papers from years ago. Or the white papers, I should say, but that was a blue paper. So, now gold, we hit this resistance at 1974. Conrad, welcome in. Hey, Tom, are you still in Shiba? Even though it's a meme. You know, I've wanted to put in Shiba, but I've only put in $50 so far, unfortunately. Because I have no idea how much to buy, and I never got through what I wanted to buy with my other stuff yet, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and Doge, sorry. I have Doge as well via Julie. I sent it to her. She bought Doge for, she had free stocks on Robinhood one time, and those ended up building up into like $35. And she bought it all in Doge when it was at like 0.00000 whatever. And it built up to over $1,000 for her. She was one of those people that made thousands of percent on Doge. On very small money, turned into over $1,000. So I had her cash it out on the Saturday Night Live because it exploded. And then, as you know, what happened after that. And I bought it back for her at 5.5 cents. So she got to take her entirety almost of her profits. Almost all of it. I mean, think about it. She put in $35 and now she's got over 10,000 Doge at 5 cents for $35. And then I cashed out, right? I cashed out and then bought it back for her. So she got to take already, she got to put in her pocket $550 right now in profit on her $35 investment. And she's got 10,000 tokens. You know, that's how you're supposed to do it. So I envy that. All right, so we got rejected here for gold, 1974. We're kind of in a rising, not kind of, we're in a rising channel here. If we get rejected here, we should come back down and retest this overcross here. Got it back to the grind. JW, have a good rest of the day at work. I greatly appreciate you, my friend, more than you know. So we've got to see if this dot cross is invalidated now. Likely it's going to come back down after a rejection here. It would be in the best interest of gold, likely to come to 1917 just to see where it reacts. So that's what I think is going to happen unless we get back on top of here on this next daily candle and somehow hold 1975. That's the only way I can see us coming out of this. It's the only way I can see us coming out of this. Hi, Mimi. How are you? And then let me see some of these comments and then we'll get through this. It's been a while since I've heard your crypto assets. Are you 10 plus tokens now? I don't know how many tokens I am. Jordan, I brought it out. Hopefully you gym fasting, mainly protein diet, no cigarettes, very limited alcohol, no sugars added, no sweet. Excellent, no FOMO. I'll get there in time. I'll get there in time. Louisville, how you doing? Jose, good afternoon. Hey, Tom, I read that. Oh, Sheena. Sheena. I'm not in Sheena right now. After I bought it, I sold it before I stopped. Well, it's not that I didn't want to cover it. It's just it was getting to be too much to have a bunch of stations. Even though I was partnered, I wanted to put my attention in here. Told my buddy to sell on Saturday Night Live, but he didn't. Lost out on thousands. Oof, man. Lots of people did. Lots of people did. There it is, Jordan. Finally hit my first 100-ounce silver goal for this year. Excellent, Jordan. Excellent. CJ2 Pilot says, I'm 61 and learning a lot from you, Tom. Hey, I appreciate that so much. I'm just trying to do the best I can. So that's what I'm looking at for gold. And let's roll through this. It's already been 21 minutes. Man, it's been way too long. 21 minutes. Not way too long, but I'm kind of getting caught up here. B2 gold down 1.05% to 329. This is common. Remember we talked about we had to come back down here to about 317, which is not a bad spot to buy. It's not a bad spot to buy. We took the 25% route here and we started to parabolically come back up, which if this happens and we hold here at 316, we're going to have to bite the bullet and just buy some. That's what I'm going to do. Probably throw $2,000 in at 317 if it holds. But we have to make sure the daily time frame is looking a little stronger. 4 hourly, same thing. Weekly, can't argue that W reversal, can we? That's a slap point for myself. Because if this plays out now, I'm going to kick myself. Not kick myself. But I'm a little pissed that I didn't buy right there. But I was so caught up in some of the other charts that I wasn't really having my full grasp because I was buying my crypto stuff. But I still should have bought it. Still should have bought it down here somewhere. It went all the way down to 277. No excuse. It's got a nice W reversal. But I can still argue the fact that as long as it gets back up here and we know that it validates a hold at 319, that's the actual spot where we could buy and say, well, we bought it back on the upswing. And then at worst, we could ride it up to $4 and then decide again. That's the mental product, or that's the mental aspect we need to take. Don't get mad at yourself, but understand what this means by what it's done now. Might as well just take this out because it can still break down here, but I don't want everybody to be like, well, what's all this shit? I'll put it back if it needs to be, because it'll be the same thing if it breaks down. But once it does this little V-shaped recovery, now, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I very clearly see a W reversal, and it looks like a bullish Dartley. So now when I start seeing that, that's not good for our proposition of it coming farther down. However, if the dollar runs up, it very well could pull back about 5 to 10%. And that's what I'm looking for. And then silver. Yeah, it's flat. Started off rough, flat, but it's still in a nice spot. We still have broke back up over the formation here at 2250. We're still over 2250. We're looking solid. We're trying to invalidate this death cross, but we got a long ways to go. We got rejected at the 200-day right now in the 4 hourly. We're being rejected, so we're likely going to come back down here. Unless we can get up and hold that $23 mark, it looks like there's more of a correction for not just gold, but silver as well. Could be anywhere from 22.65 all the way down to 22.44, so be on the lookout for that. Total crypto market cap's at 1.215%, or 1.25 trillion. We're retesting what we talked about in yesterday's midday market report. We broke out, and now we have to see how bullish we are. First layer is 1.212. Second layer would be coming all the way back down to 1.137 possibly, and retesting the breakout. We don't want to come there for obvious reasons. We want to hold that 1.12. And that would be a bullish handle on the cup. And a bullish handle on the cup here gets you up to about 1.3 trillion next. So basically you're trying to put a bullish handle on the cup, bounce out to here, break that 1.27 approximately, and then try to roll your way up to about that 1.32. But that, you break this and you hold this on a bullish handle, that sky's the limit if you break out. We'll see what happens. So we have to be prepared too for a rug pull if it does come. We always have to pay attention to that with crypto. It's falling here. XRP, if you watch the morning update, I encourage you to go watch it. I'm only going to touch it for 30 seconds here. It broke out, yes. We had a technical target on the breakout, as we all know. Let me bring out the right chart. And now it didn't hold 57 cents, which I didn't think it was going to do that. That's why the first layer to me I talked about was 55 cents. Now we're looking to see if we can get a daily close over 55 cents. Otherwise, that's a huge wick pull down, and we're going to see exactly how bullish this market is. I don't anticipate this rally's done, but it did fill out my technical target. So now it could be as painful as coming back down to 536 again. We really would like to see a daily close over 55 cents today, but right now it looks like it's struggling. Go back to that morning update for a more in-depth look at not just XRP, but Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin hit the major resistance right now in the broadening wedge, and now it looks like we're in a consolidatory phase. What that means is we're going to try to come down to the 4-hourly, likely down to 31,750 potentially. So what does that mean for XRP? What does it mean for Bitcoin? It means we need a surge of volume here to end the day and to start the next candle off right. That's what it means. So that's on with the charts. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, please make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you appreciate my work. And then if you want to show over the top, you can always send a YouTube super chat, or you can join Tom's Army to pay it forward, as I don't do any paid promotion, advertisements, or sponsorships, because I don't want you to have to sit through that shit. The only advertisements you see is what YouTube shows you, and that's the only way I can get them to advertise my product. That's part of being a partner. And then, other than that, if you're looking to trade crypto, anything you've seen me talk about in the crypto sphere, MEXC for worldwide users, you can futures trade. And then in the USA, there's FEMX. You don't need to do a KYC as of right now. So if you're interested in not doing a KYC, I encourage you to look in the video description below. If you're in the USA, and download FEMX, it's right there. Just click on the link so that you can do it now without a KYC. Unless you're putting money in from your bank account, you can go from exchange to exchange still with no KYC. I do it every day. Yes, they're trying to hamper you if you're a futures trader. On some of them, it's 50x. On some of them, it's as low as 5x if you haven't KYC'd. But if you're looking to get around the KYC, it's one of the last options you have in the USA. So stocks rise Tuesday after strong earnings reports and Treasury yield stabilized. Live update. 59 people at the end. I greatly appreciate you at 61 likes. Couldn't ask for a better put out. Stocks rose Tuesday as investors focused on a fresh slate of earnings reports and traders monitored the latest moves in Treasury yields. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 141, but as we see it pulled back a little bit up, or 0.4%. The S&P and NASDAQ added 0.4% each. Coca-Cola reported earnings and revenue that topped estimates, sending the stock up about 3%. Spotify, meanwhile, popped 10% after the audio streaming giant posted third quarter results that beat expectations. General Motors shares ticked down 1.1%, falling better than expected third quarter results. The company pulled its full year outlook amid rising costs due to the United Auto Workers union strikes. However, I have a question for everybody who's still watching. Do you like this last minute rundown? I actually have come to appreciate this at the very end. So let me know, yes or no. Do you like this last second rundown after we go through the charts, go through what it looks like? Do you like how we run? I like this. Alphabet and Microsoft are among companies posting results after the market closes. Other tech names reporting this week include Amazon and Meta. But even if the roster of tech names report earnings this week beat Wall Street expectations, valuations for the broader field of these firms remain too high, according to Banson Group Chief Investment Officer David Banson. No matter what results we see from big tech earning this week, the results won't justify their outlandish valuations, Banson said. Even with the decline in big tech stock prices over the past 3 months, big tech stocks are still too expensive and are priced for perfection and then some, and that's a dynamic that is not likely to end well. Around 150 S&P 500 companies are slated to report this week thus far, so there's big earnings week this week. So hold on to your hats. The season is off to a solid start. Roughly 23% of S&P 500 companies have already reported earnings, and 77% of them have posted earnings surpassed analyst expectations, according to FactSet. Wall Street is coming off a mixed session as investors continue to watch the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield, which rose above the 5% mark before falling below that level, as we talked about again today. Rising yields have raised concerns about the state of the broader economy and pressured the stock market in recent weeks. On Tuesday, the benchmark rate near the flat line at 4.833%. Josh Brown's, we have a little bit of an earning problem. Investor Josh Brown is troubled by this earnings season that has yet to reward the broader market outside the tech sector. We have a little bit of earnings problem, Brown said Tuesday on CNBC's halftime report. If you call it a tech, this is another negative quarter overall for earnings. In fact, S&P 500 earnings are on pace to have dropped 0.18% in the third quarter, according to FactSet estimate that accounts for reports that have already come in and forecast for the ones that haven't. The misses are being punished a lot more than the beats are being rewarded, Brown added. That's just not a great environment for investors. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, please make sure to hit that like button, consider subscribing, and please share.